See, what you remember about me, that was an illusion. What I'm going to show you now is the reality. See, I judge a lot of people by looking into their eyes. That was the way I was brought up. But see, I started looking at myself in the mirror, and I couldn't even recognize my eyes. I looked like a lion in a zoo. His eyes glazed over, no longer wild and free. I didn't even know who I was anymore. Why do people insist on creating things that are eventually going to be destroyed? Why do people cling on to life knowing that everything must die? Knowing none of it's going to mean anything once they do. That's what I'm on the way to do now. I got to bury my former self. I got to change myself if I'm going to change, if I should listen. You guys hear me?
Let me put my volume up real quick.
You can tell I'm still in my truck. Fucking job.
No, I'm sorry. I feel bad.
No. It's on me. It's on me.
What's up, guys? For those joining us, it's your girl BMF Goddess. I have the honor today of interviewing pro wrestler TJ Marconi. Guys, make sure that if you have any questions, just jot them down. TJ is gonna answer them live. All right, Mr. Marconi.
All right, everyone. I'm good now. All right. My screen went blank for a second. I'm like, all right, what's going on?
Oh, it happens. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's all good.
Okay. So, basically, thank you for being here, making time for us. I know you had a crazy day already.
Crazy. Crazy is not the word.
Just gonna start by asking how has wrestling and life been for you post pandemic?
I mean, it's wrestling has been awful, but it's starting to come back around. Fans are starting to get let back in. The world's starting to reopen, so hopefully with all the new guidelines and things reopening, wrestling can return back to normal. It's definitely been a weird year. That's 100% sure. It's definitely been a weird year, but it's getting better, so I'm happy. And
you and your family are doing okay?
Yeah, so lucky, I guess I'm probably knock on something, no sickness. I have the antibodies somehow. I don't know how I got them, but I have them. I wasn't sick. So, I kind of, I feel good. And no one I know has got sick, but I know Ref Alfred beat it, so, people that I know that had it have beat it. So it's been overall okay.
Good to hear. All right, guys. So, TJ Marconi, he debuted at a company in New Jersey called LWO in 2010. Is this where you trained at? Or
no. No, where I started training was it was called Body Slam Wrestling, and it was basically who was left over from the JAPW school went to this school. Magic was the head trainer there, and I started training there. But they wouldn't book me yet. I don't know why, but I mean, I wasn't able to get booked with my old school I was training at. The story was like the people I was training, like I said, I didn't own boots yet, so I didn't get training. But again, I was only 6 months in. I had no business being in the ring yet. I know some younger guys now think they should be in the ring immediately. I'm happy that I was not let in the ring for a little bit. But the first company I got booked for was a company called Liberty Wrestling Organization in New Jersey. It was like the how do I put this right? So like the guys who couldn't get booked in like that North Jersey scene, I guess, made their own company. And
Yeah.
then that company drew like a little bit of people, and then they booked me because I was big. At first, I was a referee. I was a referee on their show for like 2 or 3 shows, which was the funniest thing ever. Giant ass referee refereeing for a bunch of like little guys, and then finally put me on the show.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I was a referee. I was awful. Like again, like I have all the respect in the world for referees because I was an awful referee. I was awful, and then after a few shows, they put me on for the wrestle.
Nice, nice. That's crazy. I can just picturing it. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like your ref could whip your ass.
Like it was like someone came there to watch me ref. Actually, it was Carter. It was Darius Carter was training at the time, and he was in the crowd. And he goes, "My man, you shouldn't be reffing." I go, "Yeah, I know I shouldn't be reffing." He goes, "You're dwarfing the people in the ring." So yeah, that was pretty funny.
Right. So, TJ, can you tell me like the story of how TJ Marconi came to be? You know, how you
I
came
was
on the wrestling scene, what influenced you?
So when I first started, I wasn't even myself. I was being my character was called Big Money. It was awful. And I mean, I guess the name is cool, but like I wasn't being myself. I was given a character by my trainer, and
Which
I'm always
happens kind of often, right?
well, yeah,
But they
nowadays if you try to
promote it.
tell like your student or something like this is the gimmick you should, they're like, no, it's not me. But I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Whatever. I just want to be a wrestler. I'm gonna do what my trainer tells me to do, and I was called Big Money. I was a loan shark from I have a little book and had people's names in it. I didn't really like the gimmick. I was like, can I change my name and my character? And I did, and the character I did was even worse than the character that they gave me. So I was called the Paparazzi Prince because Lady Gaga was like popular at the time. I had blonde hair, and, like grew my hair.
Ah!
Yeah, I deleted a lot of that era. But then after that, I finally was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be myself, but like turned up to 1,000, and then like take influences from movies I like and characters I like from TV shows and movies, and combine them into a pot and make a character out of it. And it's been working. I mean, so like a lot of people saying, "Big money, TJ Marconi." No, it's just big money. It was just big money.
Yeah,
It was
Sam
just
said it right now.
It was just big money, and like people are like, "That's a fucking great name." I'm like, no, it didn't flow. Like I see, like when I hear my name now, like I get into a zone. Like I
Yeah,
don't know, some people, if you
I
other
agree.
people, like you get into it. It's like big money. I'm like, man, that's not working for me, dog. I can't get into it. So yeah, but I was like, yeah, the character, take a bunch of influences from TV shows and movies, and like put them in a pot and make it myself.
So when was TJ Marconi born?
I want to say 2012 was like the paparazzi Prince TJ Marconi, but like this version of TJ Marconi, like the Public Enemy, it kind of like the past few years, but like the true who I am now, TJ Marconi, over the like maybe 2015 ish. Is there footage? Yeah, there's footage of me with blonde hair. I kind of deleted all the photographs. I know Beyond Wrestling still has some of the me with the blonde hair, but I try to delete as much as possible because I'm not that I'm like embarrassed of what it was. If I'm trying to portray what I'm doing now, and then they pull up footage
Kind of
of that
reminds me
one,
of my idol there.
yeah, it ain't gonna work. Like, oh wait, that's TJ too. Like,
All right. What wrestler growing up was a direct inspiration to you?
my favorite. Hold on, I'm just sharing this so that like, people can see. Hold on. My bad. My favorite wrestler growing up was, I mean, when I first got into wrestling was Hulk Hogan. Like, I mean, a lot of people my age, I just turned 33. Um, like Hulk Hogan was the guy. Like you turned on, it was right after Saturday morning cartoons, and Hulk Hogan was this giant human being. You're like, I want to be like him.
He was
So
on
that got me.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, You know, that guy, like, he was everywhere, and that got me into wrestling. But like then when I started to I turned to my grandma and begged, "This is what I want to do for a living." It was because of Kevin Nash. I was watching WrestleMania 11 with my grandma, and it was Kevin Nash and
Exactly.
Diesel versus Shawn Michaels, and he came out with the title and Pam Anderson, and I was like, "This guy is so cool. I need to be him when I grow up." So like when I decided to be a wrestler was because of Kevin Nash.
Nice, nice. Yeah, big sexy. That's the man right there.
Yep. And he had 5 moves. Like that's all I got. I got 5 moves. He got 5 moves. We're all good.
That's true. uh, Before the pandemic, you were not only wrestling regularly, but you were using your creative and promoter hats.
Yeah. So
At BWF, Bronx
yes.
Wrestling Federation.
Yeah.
How is it for you working on the other side of the business, and how
I,
do you like it?
I like that a lot more, honestly. So my my opinions of wrestling sometimes are very limit like they're very strong, yes, but like I was trained a certain way and I grew up a certain way, so like I have that drilled into me. Other companies I would go to, and you have the wrestler hat where, you know, the booker, promoter tells you what to do, you do what you're asked, then you either succeed at what they asked to do or you fail. When I had the opportunity, given circumstances that happened at BWF, I was offered a position of writing, booking, you know. I was always like a locker room leader guy, but like I would never like dip my hand in like, okay, I'm putting together the card, I'm putting together the creative. When I got offered that, I enjoyed it because I had all these opinions, and now it's time to prove it. And I was for about a year, and before the pandemic, a little over a year, maybe a year and a half, I was like the booker or the creative mind, and we had the attendance go from maybe 20, 30 people to packed houses in that building. You were
Right.
there, you can attest, like it was because I drilled it into the locker room. Like, trust me, like we're gonna get there. We've got to build it up. And the fact that like I had a bunch of people that were on board as a team, like trusting me with their character, trusting me with their storylines, and we proved it that we drew houses. And that side always was more beneficial to me. Like I can have a great match, but then if I can have a great card or great storylines and months of build up, I'm like, wow, okay, I kind of get this now, and I enjoyed it more seeing my ideas being translated through other people in the ring and other
And
matches.
actually telling a story. Like
Yeah,
it was exciting for me to go to each show. Might I add that you really done something special with the
yeah,
new, every new card.
yeah. And you don't get that now. A lot of places you go to, it's just matches. You know, this guy's hot for a minute. We're gonna book him for this guy, and then like like we assume in wrestling this bubble that like everyone knows who we are, what we do, and you got to play to the lowest common denominator. As what like my booking or my like creative aspect is, you have to go into it thinking that no one knows who you are, and you have to tell them the story each time you're there. So I would drill it into people. I'm like,
Exactly.
listen, don't assume that everyone knows what you did last show. You know, retell it, and then I'll push it on my end and on Facebook, social media, the little promo package before the show, so then the fans already know these guys are battling over X, and this is why you should care. Some people go into just like, no, it doesn't matter. They know who I am. In reality, sure, there might be some people who know who you are, but there's people there that don't know who you are, and there's people there that are going to see you for the last time, and the people that are going to see you there for the first time. So you always have to retell your story or be more story based in the ring. Is
I'm
what
not
I
even gonna
try to do.
lie. Just you saying that made me emotional because I feel like that's something that's really important and really lacking.
Yeah,
And that's why I feel like it's another reason that people fail to respect independent wrestling.
yeah. Because like some people go to a show and they'd be like, all right, that was just matches. Like, all right, but they don't know why it's happening. Like one of my most favorite moments didn't even like for the past 2 years didn't even include me. It was with Brother Greatness and Chris Cage, and they had a beautiful written story that was paid off with him finally winning the title, and the
Right.
fact of Brother Greatness re-winning the title and having people who probably didn't know what was happening, but because the fact that it was told beforehand, told during the match, and like those two guys trusted the process. It was great,
Right.
And I feel like now you can have they had a sick match, all right, but then people forget about the match. If you can, for a long period of time, get people invested in a product and a story, it's going to have more emotions, Because there's people that aren't big followers of like indie wrestlers, but like remember that moment more.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You got a few questions there.
Oh.
Let me see. Wes said, "Who's the opponent you would love to work with that you haven't yet?"
Hulk Hogan. No. I mean, I don't have a dream list anymore. There's a lot of talented people in the Northeast that I'd like to work with. And there's a bunch of talented people in the business in general that I like to work with. But like, I'm game for kind of anybody. Just give me a guy who's gonna, listen and work. Like, if I gotta just go like locally,
Right.
I still owe Homicide a match. I don't know if this guy, I owe him one. And the older guys, like a low key, like the guys I looked up to, like I want to get them off my list, like the low keys, the homicides, the Mops, the Max, and then I feel like I want to leave something behind because I'm not gonna be doing this for much longer. Like if I'm not anywhere signed or like making a living off of it, I'm just gonna become more backstage. So like I have people that in this area that like the younger cats that I gotta, leave off and like give them, like, all right, your time, young man. Like the Martins, the Big Cuzzos. Like I still got to get with Glide and wrestle the Zoltan. I got to wrestle Brother Greatness. There's a lot of people locally.
Yeah.
So like there's this guy Mantis in the Northeast scene. Dude is super talented, but I got to get him over. It's like my mission. Like I don't know. I'm straight shooting with everyone here. Who else? I got people I got having work with. I mean, I know I could tell a hell of a story with that. I gotta remember not to say those shoot names here with Montegia. I'm gonna show I know I can tell a hell of a story with Gangone. Oh wait, okay, now all the questions are popping up. Yeah, I'm not used to this laughing. Sorry, guys.
Mike said, "I enjoyed your work at Beyond. Why did you stop working there?"
Should I give the political? Should I give the real answer or like the answer that will benefit a storyline?
All real here on the BMF.
So I was in a group called Crusade for Change. The booker there is Drew Cordero, I believe at the time. I'm not sure if other people were helping him right, but whatever. We got over when we weren't supposed to get over this stable. So then the fact that we got over, despite them not writing us getting over, they had nothing to do for us. So they would throw us in 10-man tag matches. That gets, again, this was not a company that wrote storylines. We were a storyline-based faction. After you ran out of 10-mans and 8-mans and 10-man and 8-man, it was like for about a year, that's all we were doing. They had no more ideas for us. There was no more factions for us to wrestle. I pitched the idea to Drew. I'm like, hey, why don't we do not a typical breakup storyline? It's more of like I'm getting angry at Carter because we're not progressing. I leave, come back. There's like tension. We have a story at least. It's like, all right, cool. So I said, I'll leave for 3 months. Let the fans forget about me. Come back to fight Carter. So then there's a reason. Oh man, TJ's back and he's fighting Carter, and the other guys in the faction don't know who to choose, etc. While I was gone, they did another 8-man tag. Supposedly there was complaints of people being stiff in the 8-man tag, so they just cut the whole stable out. Again, wrestling is not a ballet. I don't know what happened. Someone got concussed, whatever. It's a part of the business, in my opinion. So I was like let go while I was away doing this storyline. So I technically didn't do anything to not be at Beyond. Right. In the midst of this storyline, there was nothing left for me creatively. So, I mean, it is what it is. I got no ill will.
It was your choice.
Yeah, because I wanted the storyline. So, I mean, I know they're doing well. Yeah. And while I was gone, they just cut the whole group. So, oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Rays, we definitely got to do one-on-one, bro. The ring won't be able to hold us.
Joe Bellini or Rob Fury? I
They're
don't know.
both. You know what? I love Joe. Joe's run a successful business for many years in Staten Island. You know, people, his haters for both of them. But Bellini, neither one of them have really done me wrong ever. I love Joe to death. Rob, I had one hiccup with was because of what he said about my ex-wife at the time. But like as promoter wise, neither one of them have done anything wrong towards me. Bellini lives closer to me, so I just say Bellini because I'll go get a drink with him.
All right. I'm actually gonna since you mentioned something I was gonna ask you, I'm actually gonna skip to that.
All right.
In the beginning of 2020, I believe it was.
Yeah.
The ending of 2019, you announced something along the lines of
Yeah.
it being your last run.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say this change has been delayed or changed?
So again, like we're all being real here. My real life at the time was in a very bad place. I mean, to put a short bow on a long story, um, issues with ex-wife, home life was not well. So like I couldn't have a wrestling life while I was trying to fix the home life. I didn't like where wrestling was going. I didn't like where I was. I was, as like people saying, like denying my own depression, I guess. So like I was like, I'm done wrestling. The pandemic kind of saved my not only my my life but my career, because the pandemic made me realize I had to get out of that marriage. And then when I got out of that marriage, my like aura, as people were saying, was coming back, and my drive was coming back. So like it's delayed. It's still kind of like realistic. Like I'm just turned 33 in April. I know people get signed or like they still do this when they're 40, etc. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to take away a spot from. I don't want to take away a spot from like a guy like Big Cuzzo, who's just turned 23. He's about 6'3", 6'4", about my build, right? So when a company up here is booking, right, and there's a guy, they need a big guy on the show. Well, they know TJ because he's been doing it for 12 years. Let me book TJ. But then I'm taking away a spot from a guy like Big Cuzzo, who they don't know yet. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that guy who's hanging on for like something that's not there, you know? So if I take a step back, and I made the joke in the locker room, it's like, I'll be Triple H of the Northeast. I'll fix everyone's matches. I'll give them ideas. I'll be the NXT coach of like the locker rooms in the Northeast. And like, I see like Big Cuzzo get signed, or I see Montaguia get signed, or I see Chris Barton get signed, or Dom. And I'm like, all right, I had a hand in helping this guy get out, and I take the photo with him with the finger point. That's all I want to do. I'll be good. You know what I mean? I'll be the finger point guy of the Northeast. You know, that goes through my head. But I know I got stuff to get back to wrestling. I mean, I took over a year off. I had one match. I barely had any ring time. But again, like because of it's like muscle memory, it came right back to me. I was able to pull the crowd in and control the match. So you know, I'm not going anywhere yet. But again, what the statement I made does ring true. I'm not doing this forever. I'm not gonna say like the end of 2021 I'm done, but you know, I'm not doing this much longer if I'm not somewhere making money.
That's good news then.
Yeah.
Still good news.
Yeah.
And when you are done, you wanna still be behind the scenes and do like
100%.
in the business, right?
Yeah, I'm not going away. Like, even if I retire, whatever, like there's no pension plan. You know, you can't really retire. But you know, I'm not going away. I like my backstage stuff that I do.
Your answer actually led me to my next question. I've noticed how humble you are in how you so often put over other talent, you know, at your own expense, because if you wanted, you could remain the champ at BWF. I say this because honestly, in other I've seen other pro wrestlers that are bookers tend to glorify themselves.
Yeah.
You know, over anything, but you don't. Why is that?
Cause like again, like it's not like there's a stigma attached to it. Like, oh, that guy's writing himself to be a champion. Like anyone can write a great story for themselves. And there was a point like, well, so like if I can get like 12 other guys over with my ideas, then I did my job. So that kind of answers the first part. At BWF in general, I didn't really have complete say over the championship, who was the champions, because it was still up
Yeah,
to the owner,
you were.
Bronco. So like I was writing, but like everything had to go through him. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna switch the title, and he usually be cool with everything but the one on myself. The minute I got the book, I wanted to drop the title. And people around me, like guys who I was close with, like, nah, hold on. So I'm like, no, I don't want to be the guy who's writing himself as a champion, because then I have that stigma about me. And Bronco was refusing to take the title off of me. He's like, no, TJ, no, I'm like, yeah.
It's a hard thing because you are that guy.
He's
But
like,
then at
no,
the same time,
you're
I
champion.
totally feel what you're
Be-
saying.
You're champion, good, right? I'm like, fuck. All right, I tried.
Because I
I
was
did
one of
it.
the people like, why the hell he lost his belt? Bullshit. I left
So
mad that day.
I, I tested it. I'm like, all right, I got to get this off me, and I like, without telling him, dropped it to Jaden. He's like,
Yeah.
why'd you do that? It was through translator. As usually, he was talking in Spanish to Astro. Astro goes, he wants to know why you did that. I was like, tell him that I'm Booker. I don't want to be champion. He tells me, he goes, I don't care. And then I came up with another idea where it was like, all right, tell him I'm going to win it back. It's for a storyline. He's like, all right. And he's like, okay, I like it now. But as that happens, I'm looking for the next guy to make, because I'm like, I got to get this off of me, because I don't want to be the guy who's writing himself as champion. So the whole time I'm seeing who's getting reactions in the crowd, and it was Dominic. It was he was getting the biggest reactions, and I'm like, right, that's the next guy. I got to figure out a way to drop it to him, and I'm not going to tell Bronco. I'm just going to drop it.
Yeah.
So I wrote myself a story with him. I didn't even tell Dom. If Dom is like on here, I can verify. I didn't tell him he was winning the title. I told the referee and I told Astro, all right, Dom's winning tonight. He's going to hit me. He's going to reverse a move and win. Because if it didn't get out in the boys, it wouldn't get back to Bronco, and Bronco would be like, oh, teacher, no bien, you champion. So I dropped the title to him, and the reaction that happened, because my run at BWF, not that it was like played out or like they needed a change. It's like, all right, I was a babyface champion for over a year and a half. They need something else. So I did that, and like when you heard the crowd react, like holy shit, because they didn't expect it to happen, I know I did my job right.
Absolutely.
And then the pandemic happened, and now here we are.
So you were a part of a tag team, Click, with
Yeah.
Josh Live.
Yeah, what up, Josh?
Can you tell us more about that formation and separation?
I got booked to wrestle at House of Glory Wrestling. I dropped my phone. Hold on, we're good? All right, my bad. Sorry, technology. I got booked at House of Glory, and like no really story. They just booked me because I knew they saw my work. I get there, they're like, all right. They saw I could call matches. I was different from the rest of their roster. I wasn't a trainee there. A lot of their students all had similar builds, similar looks, similar wrestling style. I came in, I was different. The idea was to get one of the students over as my tag team partner while wrestling other students of theirs in tag matches, so I can like teach them how to call matches, teach them how to react better, because their trainer is fantastic, amazing Red in the ring. But like when it came to like promo, a character, he was never really that guy. But they saw what I was doing, was brought in. I said, all right, instead of him doing single stuff and tag, he can help 3 people out instead of 1. So they gave me Josh, and at first I was like, all right, whatever, it's Josh. But then like I started flowing with him and teaming with him, and like I got chemistry with this kid. And then I've had partners before, partners after. Every partner I've had, he's been the most like he gets it. We click better, I don't play our words to click, but we clicked. He knows what I'm thinking before we think it. We've had great matches with guys that are on TV now. It's like, that's my dude, And he got hurt. He was gone for a little while. He's back. Then the pandemic happened. We were going to surprise people saying, oh, 2 Clicks going to just show up. But like, let him know it's coming back. So when he's healthy, we're back. And we're going to rock and roll. And we're going to take over tag divisions.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Yep.
What is it about wrestling that has kept you going? Any advice you would give someone looking, to break into the business?
I'm happy it's asking me this year and not last year. Like, if you love pro wrestling, like even like today's version of pro wrestling, it's the greatest form of what's the word? Performance art in the world. Like, you know, it's a combination of acting and a combination of fighting and theater all in one. You know, you can't get that anywhere else, like independent level wise. I'll admit that the wrestling that's going on now is not what I grew up liking, but like the fact that I still have hope that it can come back to what I grew up watching is the reason why I keep doing it. So, like, you know, people that are inspired wrestlers, I just say find a reputable school, train, don't rush in to get into the ring because, you know, any wrong fall could be your last match. So, like, learn how to do it right. Don't rush. Don't what's the word? The best way to put it. Don't be a prostitute. You know, don't wrestle every weekend and every show just because you want to wrestle. Like, pick and choose. Kind of protect your body because you don't have as many bumps as you think. You know.
That's great advice. Absolutely. Matthew Caraballo says TJ definitely helped me out a lot in wrestling. Gotta give credit where it's due.
It's awesome.
Sam said Dominic was a good choice. The fight you guys had was really good.
Man. Yeah, Dom's a good dude, man. Like I saw him getting over, and he's surprisingly older than me, but in the business less time, and you know he just gets it, man. It's awesome. I'm seeing all the bumps. I'm seeing all the heart. Now I'm seeing how the live works. All right, now I'm getting the Dominic was a good choice.
Oh, you see it?
Now I'm seeing it. I'm getting a little delayed. I mean, it's cool. I can scroll back and see other stuff. Oh, Monte's here. I love you too, Monte.
I'm a big fan of your style and how you present yourself. You give us this BMF, mob, mafia vibe.
Yeah, no one was doing that.
Is there a difference between Troy Joseph and TJ Marconi?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. So like the people that get to know like the real me, like I'm very different from the character I portray. So like I was telling this story the other day. I was in the gym locally over in Staten Island where I'm living now, and people were like recognizing me for being TJ, and I completely shut it down. I like when I'm not wrestling, I'm not used to like being TJ because the character I portray is so, you know, one way, and I'm not like that like a 24/7. I'm not like this mob boss character 24/7. I'm chill. I have a baby. I have a baby nephew that I like going watching him play t-ball. I watch comic book movies and you know, and shit like that. I'm not like collecting vigs in my spare time. You know, I work for a living. You know,
or sending people to sleep the pictures.
Yeah, like, but like I don't want to not like be that character when you see me. So I'm like, yeah, man, you know, just gotta work on it, and you know, it's hard for me to like play both sides, you know. Like, imagine if like you grew up liking Hulk Hogan, or saw a guy who's Hulk Hogan on the indie level, and then he's working at you know, a Stop and Shop. It's like, damn, you know, what's going on here? There's something wrong. It kind of ruins the mystique a little bit. I'm not ducking you, Adam. Right here. I got you. Padawan.
I know that term. Okay, I'm gonna ask the question. The question that I ask every independent pro wrestler that I interview, and it's because I want to be able to say, you know, you said it here. If you did get the mainstream call from a mainstream promotion, who would you want it to be and why?
I mean, WWE. I want to be where I grew up watching. I mean, do I think I would succeed there? Absolutely not. Like, I'll be real with you. I think I would get signed. They have 1,400 people that are signed right now. It's hard to stand out in a crowd of 1,400 people. I might have a leg up because I'm tall, but again, there's other tall people that are signed there. They're not doing anything with. I mean, that's my gripe with the business in general. It's like it's very corporate. It's very by the book. You cannot do what Stone Cold did and cut a promo and try to hit a home run anymore. You're told what to say, and if you don't, even if you do hit a home run, you're gonna get held back by it. But that's just the way society is now, and it translated to wrestling. So I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh, I don't want to be in WWF because of that. Like, yeah, I definitely would be there. I'd be one of the 1,400 people stuck in NXT and you know, training, being paid to train in NXT and or whatever. But I mean, the place I think I would succeed the most, maybe an Impact, maybe a Ring of Honor, maybe a New Japan, maybe AEW. I'm not sure. You know, I know the people in there's people as friends in AEW, but again, it's 1,400 people signed to AEW right now. There's 16 matches
They
on
have
AEW's YouTube show every week. It's
so many staples and tag teams, and oh god,
it's how do you get over?
and
But
how do
if
you have
you're,
such a shit women's division with all those people? I
you
don't
know,
know.
if I imagine if I get into an Impact, sure, it's smaller right now, but there's more of a chance to like actually get over. But again, like I'm not gonna lie, WWE would be the place I'd want to go. I just know my struggle of getting over would be a lot harder in WWE.
Yeah. Plus, you know, we still have a certain kind of senile old man in charge. So,
I'm what he likes. You know, I'm the tall redhead. You know
oh
what I'm saying?
yeah, definitely,
I might
definitely.
be all right. I might be all right. I don't know. But again, they got Dijak there, who's similar in height, just in a lot better. He's a lot leaner, in good shape, and they're not doing anything with him either. So who knows?
Dylan wants to see you in AEW.
Well, hashtag them and tag them because that's how they book people. You know, just tell them, and then tell them that you want to see TJ Marconi, and then they'll take me.
Yeah, guys. TJ got the Twitter
Yeah,
hashtag AEW.
yeah. I mean, we could do private party versus 2-click there again. We did it how many times? Well, why not?
Matthew says, what was going through your mind when you tossed me to dive on to the sushi squad?
uh, have fun. don't get caught on the rope, and he did. He's a good guy.
What do you feel something in the business or amongst the wrestlers that you think should change or needs to improve?
Just kind of separate, like even in indie wrestling, make being a wrestler mean something. I mean, everyone and their mother's in the locker room. Everyone and their mother wants to be in the ring. Like, just have more respect for the locker room and the business in general. I mean, there'd probably be people in the chat or anywhere that would be like, there was a guy disrespecting the locker room a few years back and disrespecting the shows, and I got up and I slapped him in the face. You know, people don't do that anymore. Now they just, you know, they don't do that no more. Like, just have some more the locker room. And I mean, it's okay. Not everyone is a wrestler. It's fine. Like, you can love professional wrestling and want to be a wrestler, but it might not be for you. There's other avenues to be involved in the business, as being a fan, podcast host, referee, timekeeper, production, like. But everyone wants to be a wrestler, and I love the wrestling is for everyone thing. Yes, everyone is allowed to be a wrestler, but not everyone should be a wrestler. You know, I remember I said that, and like people were trying to like twist my words. Like it's not what I mean. Like, yeah, you could be black, white, Asian, alien, fucking I don't know. Every race can be a wrestler. Gay, straight. I'm with everything. You don't want to have sex with men. You don't want to have sex with women. You want to have sex with the inanimate objects. I don't give a fuck. You identify as a giraffe. Cool. You could be a wrestler, but everyone shouldn't be one. Like if you don't have physical detriments, like, you know, you can't protect yourself. How are you going to protect yourself and your opponent in the ring? You shouldn't be a wrestler. You know, that's the line where it's like, all right, we get it. You love the wrestling business, but you shouldn't really be wrestling anymore. You know, that's where I get what my story was. My opinion was on, like, it was a topic in the Northeast lately about a kid wrestling when he really shouldn't be. You know? And it was no disrespect to him. Like, he just shouldn't be a wrestler. Like, it's unsafe for him.
I agree.
Yeah.
For everyone watching, for everyone who's gonna watch on YouTube, listen to this man. He knows what he's talking about. What is an achievement or goal you'd like to experience before you do retire?
Uh, I mean, I already did was on TV once with WWE. I'd like to do that again. That was fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
please share.
I was doing extra work around. I did like the whole SmackDown Raw things with like you have all those security guards. At one point, I actually was televised when Sheamus ordered like 9 guards to kick out Roman Reigns. I was the last guy to try to kick him out. They actually gave me like a little bit of screen time where it was just me and Roman in the ring, and he
How
punched me.
fun was that?
It was fun. It was nerve-wracking because like going into it, they tell you, it's like I mean, I was trained to like when you're an extra, it's not about you; it's about getting the other guys over. So I wasn't trying to be seen, and they were saying, "All right, don't look directly into the camera." So I'm like, "All right, cool, I got all that." We're lined up on the stage. It's live now. The arena's packed with 1,500 people, and the boom camera drops to like right here, right like where my hand is right now, in front of my face. And they tell you not to look directly into the camera. So I'm like, oh my God, where do I look? You know what I mean? I didn't realize it wasn't on right now, or it was like angled towards Sheamus. But in my mind, I'm like, holy shit, it's right in front of my face. I'm not supposed to look at the camera right now. So I mean, that was a pretty cool moment from that. But I like to do that again, and then like again, like if I help someone get noticed or signed, that'd probably be a really cool accomplishment. So I could do a finger point thing like Triple H.
um, what is, if I may ask, what is the future of BWF at the moment? Do you know?
Unclear. I don't know. The New York is kind of reopening now, but the guidelines are still so strict. And BWF is one of these companies which I respect that they're not doing like the no fan shows. You know,
Yeah.
they're not in it for like to pacify themselves. They're in it to it's a business. So they can't run a show without fans because then like they're just spending money that they don't have. I guess once the fans are allowed back to shows, they're gonna start running again. Like I've been in contact with Bronco. I mean, it's not gone. He just doesn't want to go to New Jersey. You know, he's very
Right.
he's very old
Okay.
school. Like I'm a Bronx guy. I'm
Yeah.
gonna wait for the Bronx to be reopened again.
I just asked because I know there's a lot of rumors floating around,
Yeah, I
and
mean, I think they might move, but they're gonna stay in the Bronx. Like I just know it's not gone. The venue might be different, but again, we're waiting. It ain't going anywhere. Like I won't let it go away. I try. I put too much into build that place up. Behind the stage and in the ring. So like, yeah, I'm not letting BWF die. That ain't happening.
awesome. Um, you have any like crazy story or like ones that stands out that happened to you while wrestling at a show on the road that you could share?
I got a funny one that I like to say most of the time because I like making him embarrassed. So Darius Carter is another wrestler from the Northeast. We were in a faction together when we were first starting. He was a champion at a smaller fed, and we were driving to the show on the New Jersey Turnpike. And Darius Carter, outside the ring, is usually how he is inside the ring. He doesn't know how to turn it off. So we were driving there, and he was joking around, saying that he was cutting a promo in the car with the title belt. Being Darius Carter, he's the best. Look at his suit, blah blah blah. Car rolls up next to him on the Jersey Turnpike. He rolls down the window, puts the title out the window, starts cutting a promo at the car with the title belt. The wind takes the title belt out of his hands and drops it on the New Jersey Turnpike. Then he goes, well, I'm in the back with Jaka, another wrestler. Tyson is his real name, Jaka. And we start dying laughing because this guy, being himself like a brass bravado champion, just drops his title belt on the New Jersey Turnpike. Oh, you got to turn around. We're like, how? We're going 70 miles per hour on the New Jersey Turnpike. That title's gone, kid. So yeah, I love that story because like
that was a wrap. It just
just out the window, cutting a promo, and then boom, title's gone. And I wish I had the camera out to record his reaction because that was like I'll never forget that. That's kind of my favorite road story.
Oh no, that's crazy. All right. right. They were having a show there.
Oh, wait. Oh,
Um,
comments on. Sweat back.
anyone has any more questions? The only thing I wanna have left to ask you is if you have any merch or upcoming shows or anything that you want to plug us into.
Saturday, I'm coming back to SWF for Mega Slam. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I don't want to spoil it to people, but I'll be doing something crazy. IWA in New Jersey, Nutley on June 5th. May, I have more SWF dates. I think they were like the 22nd. I'm not sure. A lot of it's New Jersey because New York's not open yet.
Yeah.
And I'm not really flying out to other states because, again, I'm a business guy. So, like, the money I would want to wrestle in another state right now, I know it's not going to be able to get covered because the other companies can't draw that amount of money back. So I'm not even going to bother losing money at the moment or like trying to get booked at a place knowing where if they bring me in, a kid from New York, got to get flown in, etc. They're going to wind up losing money. And it's just bad business. So I'm just waiting for the world to kind of reopen more. And I'll start traveling out more again.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Merch.
TJ Marconi Pro Wrestling Tees. They got a bunch of designs. I'm going to come up with more stuff. And then, hopefully the world becomes normal and then more at shows. I like interacting at shows. I want to see the person buy my shirt so I know them, get to hang out with them a little bit.
Right. And your IG and Twitter, you want to share that?
IG and Twitter, TJMARCONI. So TJ Marconi across all platforms. Facebook, Twitter, IG. Don't have a Snapchat. I had it once. Can't figure it out. Don't know how to build a fan base on it. I'm not going to be showing, nudies. I don't know how it works. Not doing it. So just got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. YouTube, same thing. YouTube.com/TJ Marconi.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I want to super thank you
for anytime. Again, I'm sorry for the delay. I pulled the curtain back on my shoot job. You can see I'm in my workshop right now. Emergencies happen. People don't got heat. They got it's winter again in New York. They're complaining that their heaters aren't working, their boiler systems.
All right, TJ. Well, you have a good night. Thanks again, everybody. Thanks for being here. You already know. May the
That's an Abraham finisher. That's an Abraham finisher. That's a you can do what you know, but the next time you see them,
See, everybody got a story to tell, but this one's mine. Public enemy number one, TJ Marconi. And I'm back to take what's mine. You could basically call me Jon Snow. I died, and I came back to change myself and to do damage to professional wrestling.